So here's the important question. Can men and women be just friends?
Absolutely not.
What?
That's crazy talk. Absolutely not. Everyone's always in pursuit of the cookie. It makes it impossible. Anyone who says they're doing it right now, come on, guys, you're lying to yourselves. Hey, y'all, it's Onika
And J.R.
and you are dishing with DaintyDysh. So how you doing, JR?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Things are going well.
What's new in your world?
Recently had a visit from mom and grandma. That was enjoyable. Things are going well at work.
You're acting like I wasn't here for that visit.
I know. I'm just saying, like, recently had a visit. It was good. Got a lot of leftovers. Don't have to cook for like a week. Super excited about that. Yeah. So got a new bedspread. It's gray, just in case anyone was wondering about my bedroom business. So yeah, it's gray like my other gray one. I really like that shade. I really like that shade. But how are you doing? That's my boring life. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, I got my hair cut.
You got your hair cut. That's it.
That's it. That's all I got right
This
now.
is not an interesting conversation, makes. Like,
No. I visited the library though. That was cool.
You visited the library?
Yeah.
Oh, how did that go? I haven't been to a library in years.
I know it was pretty cool. They're a lot cooler than they used to be. There's barely any books though.
Oh, there's a lot of computers probably.
Yeah. It was
That makes sense.
It was interesting.
Everything's going digital.
Yeah. That's why I always have a job, Mr. IT.
Oh yeah, Mr. IT always. Yeah. So that was an interesting question that you asked me at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, I've been pondering
about guys
it
and
lately.
girls being friends. You've been pondering it?
Yeah, because I think it's totally possible.
No, it's not. On the guy's end, like I'm not a guy. I'm not going to speak for guys. But as a woman, if I have a male friend, this is someone that I'm either considering sleeping with or, I'm considering having some type of a future with. They're basically on hold. They're on pause, basically. They're in what I like to call the friend zone.
Okay, well, that's complete trash. That's bull.
No, but honestly, like I have had situations where I've put guys in the friend zone, then I've bought them into the big boy leagues, up to batter up, to tee off, if you will. That's as much sports analogy that you're ever gonna get out of me, guys, because I don't know anything about sports. To shoot a 3-pointer, if you will, because I know you're going to
Stop. Just stop.
Yeah, but I've done it before. I did actually in my last relationship, and we were friends first. But I remember when I met him, because we were roommates, and I remember when I met him, I thought, yeah, I could do that. I'd hit that. He had like strong shoulder blades. He had I was really attracted to his shoulder blades. So I'm like, yeah, I'd tap that maybe one day, like on a Tuesday when I've got nothing better to do. And then it so happened that on a Tuesday when I had nothing better to do, that's what I did. So
you're ridiculous. So just because of that one situation, you're standing here and saying,
no,
or you're sitting here and saying,
but I've had the experience as a woman. I was put in the friend zone a lot in high school. That's when girls have crushes. Like that was back in the day when a girl used to have a crush. She would be in the friend zone. So I was put in that position a lot in high school. But as I got older, and a little bit more confident, I guess, in my relationships with the opposite sex, I found that guys would often I don't want to say flock to me, but if they were attracted to me, they would try to like enter in as a friend first. Maybe they do something nice to me, like come grocery shopping with me and like carry my groceries home, or they'd come fix something at my house for me, or they'd give me a ride somewhere. It was always like, them doing something to encourage me to want to be with them. And they seemed to fail to realize that like women make that decision fairly quickly as to whether or not they're going to engage with a man or not engage with a man. At least I make that decision really quickly.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm just saying that the friend zone, it's a thing. It's a real thing. I think the friend zone's
complete bullshit in the first place. I mean, how can you tell me that? Well, by your definition, you're saying the friend zone is a place that women put men in, when they don't qualify as being boyfriend or booty call. You go in the friend zone. Is that what you're trying to say to me?
The friend zone is technically, and I'd read an article about it, it's the only time I'm going to reference it, is described as when one friend has a romantic or sexual attraction to the other and the person doesn't reciprocate. So it could be men or women.
Well, I think by that definition, I think that's bullshit. Because just because one party has a romantic feeling towards the other party and the other party doesn't reciprocate that, especially if they don't know or aren't aware, you're just creating this useless title, like this useless purgatory that doesn't, or this, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. Like friend zoning doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm saying it's a real thing though.
Okay, but you looked at him and said, I'll hit that.
Yeah, I looked at him and I said I could hit that.
I could hit that. Okay, and do you not think that he looked at you and said probably I could hit that?
Yeah. Okay, and then we friend zoned each other.
From the get-go, you both had the idea of a potential relationship or doing something physical together. You both had that aspiration from the get-go.
I wouldn't say I aspired to it so much as I put it in my back pocket, like this could happen.
Okay, but so from the get-go, you were never actually trying to be this person's friend.
But a friendship in my mind did develop. In my mind.
No, but from the beginning, you didn't want a friendship. So how could you create this? How could there be this zone called the friend zone if you didn't want friendship from the beginning, and he didn't want friendship from the beginning?
This just goes back to the whole why guys and girls can't be friends, because attraction gets in the way.
Girls can't be friends if you're not attracted to them. I have multiple female friends that I'm not attracted to.
Yeah, but who's to say they're not attracted to you?
Well, I can't speak on that, but I don't. But right now, I don't know, and I'm not aware of it. So they're not friend zoned. They're friends until someone points it out to me that, hey, I want to be more than friends. If they point it out to me and then I continue to say, yeah, I'm just gonna keep you here in the pocket, I think that may be what you call friend zone, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe in this friend zone garbage, and I think men and women can be friends.
I don't think men and women can be friends. I think friend zone is a real thing. Up to it being something that men, and this is on the male side now.
Okay.
Something that men use to justify their own undesirableness. Like,
what?
They use it as a means of justifying rejection. So if they say, I've been friend zoned, they act as if they're like, they've done stuff, the same things I was talking about earlier. They've shared time, maybe bought drinks, spent money. They've done certain things for that woman, and their expectation is, and this is often the expectation, is that they're going to receive sex in return. And when that woman shows, listen, I'm not interested, because as I said, women know fairly early on whether or not they're going to be interested in a male in that way. They call that being friend zoned. And that's what I want to maybe I want you to address. Have you ever felt that way in a friendship with a woman?
I'll address that in a second.
Okay.
But if as a woman, you know that this man is buying you drinks, he's doing things for you specifically to not be in this quote unquote friend zone, and you accept all this attention, and then willfully then, or not willfully, but you accept all this attention and then you say no. Is that fair?
I mean, friendship isn't about an exchange of goods, though.
No, but
it's
if you know, but if you know,
spending quality time
no, but
with
if
someone.
you know very well that a gentleman is only spending time with you, spending money on you to get in your pants, and you allow that to happen, and then you say no at the last second, is that fair?
That's not fair.
Is that something
I wouldn't
you should be doing?
consider that fair.
Is that something you should be doing?
No, I wouldn't consider that fair. That's leading them on, and that's again what the friend zone can be. Also, it could be a lead on until you're ready to say yes, which is, again, I'll go back to my stories, what I did with my last relationship. You know, we were both in that zone. We put each other in kind of a place because of the living situation, what we were all dealing with at the time. And then things took a turn and they changed, and we ended up in a relationship together for a period of time. So I would say we were doing that at the time to each other. Mm-hmm. And it developed into something more. But and he did things for me at the time. He cooked, he did whatever. But I never felt during that period of time that he was doing those things to sleep with me. I didn't think that was his intention. I genuinely thought we were friends.
Yes, but your intentions in the beginning, you said that you were willing to...
No, I never said my intention was to sleep with this person.
But if
I said that I looked at him and I recognized that I was attracted to him in a physical way.
So you knew very well that you were not looking to be this person's friend. Anything you were doing was because of your physical attraction to him, right?
No, I disagree with that statement. I disagree with that statement.
Then clarify.
Okay, I disagree with that statement because this particular person... As I said, I looked at him and I said to myself, he's attractive. He's an attractive guy. But he didn't have all the qualities at the time that I felt would have been good for me for a relationship. And on top of that, we were roommates. So it was weird. So we slowly developed sit down on the front porch after work, have conversations, talk about life. It became a friendship. I supported him in what he was doing in life. He supported me. And then things changed, things turned, but that wasn't the original intention. I think, as I said, we were both in that friend zone. We were both in the zone. We were putting each other there.
You seem to be describing courting.
No, it wasn't.
It
was not courting.
That's what you seem to be describing, though.
It was not courting. I truly considered this guy to be a friend. But my mistake that I made was thinking, once again, that guys and girls can be friends because sex got in the way.
But you said you were attracted to him. If you weren't attracted to him, sex would never have gotten in the way. There's plenty of women out there that I'm not attracted to and I can have a full relationship with because I'm not attracted to them. You're attracted to this person. Therefore, you put yourself in a situation where things could have gotten physical and you would have been okay with it.
Fair point. But honestly, it was not my original intention to be in a relationship or have relations with this person.
I don't know. I just think
I honestly genuinely thought this was the first time for me because I have challenges. I have challenges when it comes to male relationships to begin with. Mm-hmm. So this was the first time I'd ever experienced being around a guy, having conversations with a guy and not feeling physically threatened by a guy. So I called it a friendship. That's what I chose to call it. I said, this is what.
So could it possibly be that we just need to clarify the terms of what a friendship really is?
Yeah, I think a friendship is partially it's spending time with another person.
There's no physical attraction in a friendship.
True.
So we need to figure out what we want to call it then, because if a friendship there's no physical attraction, and then you can say that, hey, there was a physical attraction even though I didn't act on it at first. Any relationship I'm in with this person is or will get physical, so there should be a different name for that.
We're gonna have to make it up, guys. You might have to write in and make up a name for this because we see it in movies and things too, and television shows all the time.
And I hate when women Well, I just said that. I hate
Oh,
when women.
you said I hate when women.
I hate when women. Uh-oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
No.
Cool it down there,
Cool
JR.
there, yeah,
Cool
I
it
know,
down.
I know. Well, I'm only going to say that because women watch these specific movies and TV shows. But I hate
The
when
rom-coms.
The rom-coms. Like, you're looking at those and treating them as gospel in your life and trying to emulate those things that you see in the movies or in TV. Yeah.
And
No,
also those things now get juxtaposed on your relationships, your quote unquote friendships with men. If you look at movies like Just Friends or Friends with Benefits or any of the movies that even My Girl, even when we were kids and you watched My Girl and they had like this lovely friendship where they went in the forest and they found bees and it was all exciting. When he died, that girl cried her eyes out. She loved him. And she was like 12. So we're inundated with this stuff where the men that come into your life, it's like the movies are saying they can't just be your friends. You know what I mean? It's like they're saying eventually, the message is at the end of the day, you pick up a male friend, eventually that guy's going to be your boyfriend, your lover, your husband, the father of your child. So this fantasizing that women do about men, you know, it comes from somewhere, you know, and that's what makes, I think, male-female relationships so challenging. You know, I was actually in a group the other day, a coffee meetup, and the question was, what is it to be a woman? Right? And people started comparing men and women, and someone had said men have emotionally 3 buttons, whereas women have an array of emotions that we express on a daily basis. Right? But if men only have 3 buttons and you're trying to build like some kind of friendship, you press that wrong button, it's going to turn. Things are going to go left, and it's going to be, now he wants to be with you. He might even potentially get aggressive with you. Like, there's also that potential and possibility. The article that I read referenced a gentleman named Elliot Rodger. He killed 6 people and injured 14 others in a mass shooting in 2014. And he did it in a sorority house because he had been rejected by so many young blonde women. That was his reasoning.
That's not, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed, but
no, I know, it's crazy, right? It sounds crazy. So he was going out because he'd been rejected so often. He'd been friend zoned so often by these women, and they used him. So he went on this mass shooting. Now, it often won't manifest itself into a mass shooting. That's not what we're going to see. But we might see things like, I've heard of women rejecting men's offers and they've been bottled in the head. The extremeness is things like rape or being beaten. Some women have had acid thrown on them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For making a decision to not want to be with a man, which men then call friend zoning.
Yeah, but she doesn't even want to be your friend at that point. So that doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. I look at the numbers. I'm like, there's like 1 billion eligible females out there. Just look at use the numbers to your advantage. You're not attracted? Keep it moving.
Oh, Lord.
Keep it moving.
Keep it pushing.
Keep it moving.
I think the biggest thing I learned from my relationship, going from friends to lovers, and then we tried to go back to being friends, which was crazy. Which was cray. Like, it was crazy. It was a pretty big fail on my part. I mean, I should have recognized at the beginning what it was and what it had the potential to be, and made better choices.
This all seems like you just made bad choices.
Yeah, I mean, that too. I made a bad decision. Sometimes it happens, but that was to me, that was a bit of a fail, but I think I learned something from it.
Well, there's been a lot of fails going on out there right now. I mean,
speak, preach.
Oh my goodness. Last night, what's his name? Patrick Brown. He made a fail by not resigning at 9 p.m. instead of waiting till 1 a.m. That was a fail.
After his little quickie
he,
speech.
He should have been resigning at that speech. That should have been his resignation speech, as opposed to going home and waiting till
I saw that he was so indignant. Like he was so like indignant.
I don't even know what that means.
Sorry, he was so like, this is not. I would never. And these are false allegations. But I quit my job. Only a couple hours later, it felt a little. He was puffing his chest up a bit. Then it was quickly deflated by the party. The party quickly
was like,
deflated.
Look here, buddy. You need to toe the party line here.
Yeah, you need to get with the program, buddy.
Yeah. So speaking of fails, you gave one. What kind of fails you got going on in your life? What kind of failures have you had to endure?
Honestly, I want to talk about a vacation fail, but before I talk about this vacation fail, another couple recently, Ontario couple, had a vacation fail in Punta Cana. What? They got a hookworm, which is a parasite.
Say it again.
Hookworm.
Hookworm?
Yeah, they were walking barefoot on the beach.
Which is something you would do.
Yeah, which is normal because that's like romance and everything.
That's beach.
It's beach life.
Beach life.
And they thought they had sand fleas. But they got home and all of a sudden...
Sand fleas?
Sand fleas. They thought because they were itching their feet a lot. So it presented with itching and there was bumps and like it was just really gross. The article's in a link below wherever you have to click on. But yeah, it ended up after they went to the hospital 3 times, a doctor finally recognized it from another tourist having the issue. They had a hookworm. So, yeah. So a hookworm is a parasitic worm that inhibits the intestines of humans and other animals. So now this thing's coming through their feet. So they had to get like the medicine from America, which I don't even think is legal, but they had to get the meds from America because Health Canada was like,
No OHIP.
Health Canada was like, this is not bad enough for us to give you this medicine.
It's like your feet just itch.
So that was like a fail for them and a fail for the Ontario government, as far as I'm concerned. They have a hookworm.
It's not that important.
Oh, I don't know. I just thought the story was like sad and very funny at the same time. I'm sorry. Hopefully they learned about wearing shoes on the beach.
Why should you have to wear shoes on the beach?
Because of hookworms, apparently. Listen, I'm not trying to ruin beaches for people. This is the article. This is what I'm not trying to ruin beaches. Wear some beach shoes. That's all I'm saying. Some flip-flops. But my vacation fail, though, because it reminded me of a vacation fail that I had. My vacation fail would have been 2007, sorry. I went to St. Martin, and I don't swim because I can't, basically. I can, do the shallow end, but not like the ocean. But this day I thought it was a good idea to jump in the ocean, and the waves were rushing, and I went under. And someone had to jump in and rescue me. Bonus on that one, the guy that rescued me, though, had the bluest eyes I'd ever seen. Very blonde hair. He was gorgeous, and I spent a week of vacation with him. So was it really that much of an epic fail? I don't know. We had an awesome week. Hey, Lionel. Hey. Like, we had an awesome week. He called me his tulip noir. He was French. He called me his tulip noir. Like, it was awesome. So that was a bit of a fail, the drowning part. But what are some of your fails?
Well, number one fail was my marriage.
Oh.
That one.
That's pretty epic.
That's pretty epic. That one. But I learned a lot. It was a learning experience. And I ticked it off my bucket list. Get married, check.
Get married, check.
Get divorced, check. But that was an epic fail. But yeah, I learned from it. So yeah, that's one of my fails. I don't know. I got a bunch of them.
You got a bunch of them.
I got a bunch of failures.
I wouldn't imagine you're a very accomplished young man.
I just like to fail, and because when you fail, you learn something. I've learned something from every single one of my failures.
That's the important part, I think, is learning.
Actually, I did learn something from that failure.
Would you like to share with the class, or?
Actually, okay. So this was when I was in high school. So back when we used to use MSN Messenger instead of text messaging. You get to sit at your computer and send instant messages. So I was having this conversation with this girl, and we were going back and forth, and we're using R&B song titles as the words in the conversation. So after about maybe going back and forth with 20, 30 songs, I was done. I had
lost
no
consciousness.
I was like, I don't know any more songs.
Juice.
So at this age when a lot of guys are starting to get into porn and stuff, I was into erotica. So I was
You're
reading.
such a weirdo. Like,
I don't know. Anyway.
Why are you so weird?
So it was in my other browser. And so I don't know if it was Google at the time. It was probably like Yahoo or something. But I was looking up song titles. And I must have gone into the other browser and I copied the whole page, like the whole erotic story. And I pasted it into the conversation that I was having with this girl.
Oh, no.
And I sent it. So I learned in that
no.
situation.
Can you apologize to her, please? Like right now? Like
I'm sorry.
You're like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Oh.
So, yeah, so that was a fail. That I learned to always check before you post or, copy paste. You got to check, yeah.
Absolutely.
Check your keystrokes.
Don't post in haste. Don't post haste. That's where post haste comes from. But don't post in haste. I have one from high school. Okay. So this could potentially lose me my OSSD, but I'm going to go shoot for the stars anyways. So it was grade 11. Yeah, it was grade 11. My history class. Our teacher left the midterm on the table and no one was brave enough to take it, but I was like, I need to get a good grade because like university, college, etc. Like I'm not risking it. Like if she's dumb enough to leave it on the table, I'm gonna be smart enough to pick it up. So I picked it up and then I proceeded to share it with the class, and she didn't change the exam. She just figured she left the copy at home because she was like, honestly, she was not the sharpest tool in the shed. Like she was doing things like this in class constantly. Like she was just begging to be taken advantage of.
How'd the bell curve work on that one?
Yeah, it was pretty insane. If I recall, there was some suspicion, but I was such a good girl that none of it fell on me, and I liked it that way. And I remember like just taking the exam like right before the exam and like ripping it up and throwing it, like flushing it down the toilet with my friend, like just to get rid of the evidence. So I'm sorry, Miss Kraljevic, for that. I really do apologize, but like those university applications were nipping at my heels. They were coming up in the next year, so I had to do what I had to do.
Hilarious.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So another education one, a big fail for me, was my first year in PR at Humber.
Okay.
Now, I was going through an episode. I was not well. I'd actually just finished an episode when I got into the program, and one was soon nipping at my heels again. And I saw the end of a relationship, and I started smoking a lot of pot, and I basically just blew off my the end of my second semester, and I flunked out basically. Now I had a lot of people being like, you got to get your shit together. You got to get your life together. You're like a bitch. And like people really genuinely disliked me in this program. And this was the first time I'd actually ever experienced collective hate.
People disliking you? Really?
Like collective hate.
Shoot, I don't even like you that much.
I know you don't like me that much, but you have to love me, your family. But like collective hate, I never experienced. Like being the villain. Like I was like the villain of the class, like Cruella de Vil, like Maleficent types, like shit. Like it was weird for me because I'm always used to being liked. So people just did not like me. My teachers didn't like me, but I persevered. I went back, had to go back 2 more times, but I did graduate in 2010. So I learned not to quit from that experience. Just keep pushing, keep moving forward, no matter what people say or no matter what people, think. So I kept it pushing.
All right.
How about you?
Another fail. Well, considering the first 2 include women, let's go for the trifecta.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Oh, okay. So considering men and women can't be friends, I'm gonna give you a point in this one.
Thank you. In this battle royale. Because battle royale.
I made a huge fool of myself a while back. In the most inappropriate way, at the inappropriate time. I told someone I loved them, which was like the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
That was a bad. That was.
I mean, you have to own that one because I know I said it was a bad idea. I can't imagine saying it was a good idea.
No, yeah, it was too late though. Like when I it was too late.
It was like the time you quit your job.
Yeah.
And you sent me a message at 7:30 in the morning when you knew I'd be sleeping.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop you from doing it.
Yeah, and then
that's what that was like.
It was great because you replied to the message at like 9:00 as I was walking out.
As you were walking out, like. And that quitting the job story, that's not even a fail, guys. That's one of his epic successes.
Yeah.
That's not even a fail, dude.
No, that's
not even a fail.
That's a success. Yeah.
That's a success. I think we both quit jobs before. Yeah. I quit my job the same day I got fired though. So I don't know if that's an epic fail or probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Let me tell that juicy gem. Yeah, so I was my business development manager. I was in the event planning industry. It was a bit of a shit show. I was exhausted by the end of the year.
I told you so.
You told me so. I was exhausted. I was not behaving well. Again, another episode was fastly approaching. I blew a Canadian Tire credit card like in 3 hours at the Eaton Center.
Yeah, when you told me about that, I was like, you're
yeah,
ridiculous.
I bought some J's. And then like everyone in my office was very hipster. Like they dressed very hipster. So I remember like the day that I quit my job, like the day I got fired too, I walked in with like my black and gold J's, you know, a pair of like ripped jeans and like an Adidas shirt, like like an Adidas like jacket. Obviously I was not trying to stay employed. So my hair was like slick, juicy, juiced up, like girl juice, like gem hair gel. Like I wasn't trying to stay at my job. Like I had the hoop girl earrings in, you know, them hoops, and they were the biggest hoops I had to.
Oh
like,
goodness.
you know, I wasn't trying to keep my job. So I quit, and then my boss was like, well, I was gonna fire you today anyways. So he was dressed in a suit. I'm walking around all day not knowing what's going on. And we were, oh, it was jokes. I'm sorry. I laugh at it because it was funny. But so that was some of our epic fails. They were decent. We haven't had too many bad ones quite yet. Hopefully we don't have too many in the
I just don't want to throw them out there. That's some epics.
Some of them are ethically questionable. They're ethically questionable. But if you guys want to share some of your epic fails with us, or if you're stuck in the friend zone and you don't know how to get out, trust me, I've got some advice. It exists.
If you don't believe it, it doesn't exist.
If you don't believe it, write to JR. But if you do believe it, write to me and I'll tell you how to get out of it. Because you need to get out. You need to just lock it off. Guys and girls can't be friends. It's my last final word on this. I'm not saying anything else. They can't. But JR, let them know how they can reach us.
All right, you can reach us at Dysh, DYSH, at DaintyDysh.com. That's DaintyDysh.com. You can also check us out on Facebook at DaintyDysh. You can check out Onika at OnikaDainty.com. What's going on with OnikaDainty.com right now?
Right now, you'll be able to find a selection of my poetry, some journal entries very personal to my heart, as well as some blogs.
Wicked.
Yeah.
You can also check out Onika on Instagram at Best of Onika, Snapchat Onika Dainty. You can check me out on Instagram at Best of JR, and you can also subscribe and continue to listen to us on Apple Podcast and YouTube.
And rate us 5. We deserve a 5.
Yeah, and a like on YouTube.
And a like.
A like on YouTube.
I like you. Why don't you like me?
And that's it. I got nothing more.
You got nothing else?
I'm done.
All right. Listening audience, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the dish for the day. And I hope you have a very, very happy hump day.